Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumin and today we're having a look at ARK, Survival Evolved. This is one that's been recommended to me many times over the years. This is an open world survival crafting game. You're stranded on the shores of a mysterious island. You need to learn to survive. Use your cunning to kill or tame the primeval creatures. It's dinosaurs. The creatures are dinosaurs. Roaming the land and encounter other players to survive, dominate, and escape. Pretty fun. And yeah, I mean, like, come on. Dinosaurs combined with the outrageous character creation that you're about to look at. It's a win. An absolute win. If you'd like to read more about this game, do a deep dive for yourself. You can find some links below. They'll make you happy. You'll see all you need to see there. You can also use the timestamps to jump between the different parts of this video. Those parts will be male character customization, then randomization, then female, then randomization. It's pretty quick. You know, it's mostly sliders, but there is some cool stuff to look at here, and we're going to spend some time enjoying it. So, hey, come. Let's get started. First things first, skin color. I think that they pretty much cover everything with this. You can go pretty pale, you can go pretty dark, and you can go anywhere in between. It's fine. It's fine. There's enough here. Let's leave it somewhere over here. Hair color. This is probably the one grievance that I have. There's no real hair, so to speak. Like, I mean, yeah, there's some hair. Okay, we've got some hair right there. Let's zoom in a little bit and I'll show you. That's not what I meant to do. This guy's a little difficult to rotate. But there's some hair, and you can change its color. Alright, I'm pausing here quickly while I'm talking about the hair, because I have actually, since recording this, read about hairstyles because I was confused. And it seems like you do actually do the hair stuff in the game. Your hair actually naturally grows, which I think is a fantastic system. And then you can use scissors to change the style of it. So it just takes X amount of time for your hair to get to a certain length. And you can start styling it, including the beard for the male characters. I'm not sure if the females get them too. But all the hair stuff is basically done in the game itself. You don't choose it here. Here you go in plain as you are. There's probably a story reason for that. And then once you're in the game, you get to do the hair stuff. So just know that going forward, and know that when I'm talking about the hair stuff, that applies as well. There you go. Carry on. They've got everything here. You know, they've got the black question mark. Then they've got the blondes and the light browns and the darker browns. They've got this, which is sort of a more yellowy blonde. It's nice. It's nice. So it's sort of a golden blonde. And then they've got the gray. The colors are more distinctive, brighter on the female character. You'll see when we get there, but they look alright. There's no real hairstyle. You know, this is it. This is what you're starting with right here, the shaved head, and there's a reason for that. There's a story-based reason for that. So I'll just leave it at that and leave you guys hanging. You're gonna have to jump in for yourself if you'd like to see that. Eye color. You know, I usually say, you know, you can't see, on faces like this. It's like you can't really see the eye color changing all that well, but I mean, in this specific case, with this specific game, it's a pretty bright color. It's just hidden a little bit by the light in here, and there's a lot to choose from here. You can just barely see that they sort of cover the entire spectrum of colors here. You have like a rainbow at your disposal. You've got almost full RGB. This color doesn't really do it justice. It's a much brighter color when you actually look over there, but from this side, you've got like the browny orangey colors, then you can come through here to the lighter, cooler, bluer colors, onto the greens, and then the yellows and the oranges and the reds. And I mean, they're pretty bright, yeah. And if you want a darker color, you go for the dark red over here, and then it's pretty dark, and that's all the way over to yellow. It's a good selection. It's nice. Then head size. This is where the fun begins, when you actually start working the proportions. Yeah, I mean, this is not too bad. Just make the head a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. Cool, cool. Let's make it bigger so we can see what's going on. Now, here's the first one. This is the first one that catches you by surprise. Upper face size. Oh my god. It's like... it's like there are growths appearing on my character's face. You know? Okay. Enjoy. Lower face. Yeah. Even more so. Like, this is cartoony proportions gone wild. Then you can go gaunt with it, with both of them. And you can sort of make yourself look like a bit of a rat. I think it's cool, and I mean, I'll be real with you, there's a middle ground here that looks kind of nice, that looks good. By that I mean, you know, just leave this guy on the default setting. You can go a little more if you want to be a bit more intimidating. You can go a little lower if you want it to look a little gaunter. You know, that's fine. Head height, and you can combine these, by the way. Width and height, sorry, these two. You can combine these. You can go for that max, max, max. The head size max, and then you can go for these max as well. And then you got that hideous monstrosity, if that is what you wish to do. The height and the width here, they sort of just stretch the whole thing. You know, it's not a finessey way of doing it. You know, you're not delicately changing the proportions. You're just stretching the whole thing. You know, that's that. And it's fantastic. Again, I love it when games don't take themselves seriously. And this is definitely one of those games. They're just like, oh, you know what? Yes, some sliders, guys. Have fun. We don't care if your character looks like an actual nightmare. The hideous amalgamation. Yeah, man. Welcome. Welcome. Dinosaurs don't care what you look like. They'll eat you either way. Fantastic. Here's the depth. That's just if you like, you know, if you wanna be able to squeeze through those gaps a little easier. Yeah. If you run into a wall a bunch of times, this is what happens. Again, you can sort of maximize them all, minimize them all. There are some interesting combinations here, and we'll see them when we randomize. Neck size, probably the coolest slider in the whole thing, just because of how impactful it is. This is dangerous. I don't think you should even head outside if you have a neck like this. But this one is dangerous too. Just because, you know, you're not going to find a shirt that'll fit you with a neck like that. Like, collar? No. No. Massive gaping hole. It's crazy. It's crazy. Look at that neck. It's rather something, right? And then you can do your neck length. It's even better if you do this and then that. Perfect. Perfect. Yep. I love it. We're going to leave it in the middle so that we can actually see what's going on with the rest of them. Torso. Let's begin. The chest options. Yeah, that's pretty natural. I mean, when you start sort of sliding it around and you look at it all the way on the one side and then you go all the way to the other, it's like, yeah, I mean, I see people like this all the time. This is pretty normal, right? It's pretty normal stuff. you can sort of cosplay a mushroom if you'd like. Shoulders. Because, I mean, if your chest looks like that, you got to have the shoulders being like, geez, this guy. Pec day every day, right? Okay, hips. I feel like taking this whole thing up like this takes like barrel... No, it's not barrel chested, is it? Barrel hipped to another level. There's a distinctive lack of... There it is. There it is. Ooh. That's it. Barrel chested. That's more like boulder chested, but hey, close enough. So yeah, as you can see, torso height and depth, fantastic options here. If you go all the way down with all of them, it's also quite something. It's pretty significant, as you can see. Still muscular though. We can deal with that down here. You'll see how it works when you do that. But for the purposes of the video and showing you what's available, let's go back to the defaults. Then arms, hands. Can make them kind of massive or small. I like it when there are dinky little hands attached, like delicate little fingers attached to these boom, boom, boom guns. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. It's like one of those cautionary tales you read about on Reddit. This guy at the gym said I could inject this safely. God. Nah, okay. So, on the skinniest, that's what it looks like. You can make the hands big. You can sort of mess around here. You can make yourself into like a T-Rex. Maybe you can paint yourself like green or something and go and wander the fields and hopefully blend in with the dinos. It's possible, it's possible. They might accept you as one of your their own. It's, yeah. Go for it. Try it. Legs. Similar situation to the arms. Fantastic. Again, I love how you can just go for it. You can just go for it. You pull the slider, it doubles your height. Fantastic. Who cares, man? Who cares? Not the dinosaurs. Not the other players. They'll kill you all the same. Amazing. Okay, and then the feet. Same situation as with the hands. I like the idea of making them all very small. Crazy. So, as some science... Because we're at the end now. This is the end of it. Before we random, let's just pull all the sliders to the lowest and see what it looks like. And then pull all the sliders to the highest and see what it looks like. I mean, that's the color doesn't really matter, but... I mean... So I feel like that's not quite as ridiculous as it is if you pull it all up. But I mean, if you mess with the stuff, like you make the legs nice and long here, you make the hands nice and big, and the feet nice and big, you can really do something, you know? It's like you get into Attack on Titan levels of crazy. But when you do this, then you've really got something. I'm not sure how this guy even fits in his armor. Crazy. There you go. That's a mountain of a man. And then you can like reduce the height a little bit. Leg length down. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. Arm length down. Of course. And you can start messing with it. Back and forth. And you can make some pretty fantastical creations. Look, this guy's got like built-in cup holders. I like that. It's like you got a shelf here. A shelf to store things on. Crazy. Again, they don't care. They let you do whatever. Oh, the textures are being squashed a little bit. No matter. Just go. Okay, let's randomize and see what we get here. Let's see if they can beat what we just made. Oh yeah, they absolutely can. Fantastic. So, basically, this character creator, it lets you go for it. It lets you loose with all the options and all the fun. I love it. I think that there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. And hey, I think there's most likely a subreddit out there somewhere with a whole bunch of cool creations on it. Because there are some combinations that you can pull off here that would be truly impressive. And I'd like to visit that. Alright. That's the randomization done. I feel like having fun with the sliders yourself is more fun than randomizing in this case. Because, well, they are so varied, you know. And they're so impactful. Let's jump onto female. Let's reset to defaults and jump onto female. Wow. Dude, what the heck? That is so unexpected. That is such a beautiful character for us to mess up. Let's do it. Alright. I'm sorry, this is the first time I actually see the females. Wow. Here we go. Interesting, interesting. Yeah. Skin colors, you can go pretty dark. You can go pretty light. See, the one time I did jump onto female, I had not reset this. And it was all messed up from randomizing on the males, because it keeps your settings when you go male-female. And it didn't really look much like this at all. Let me just say that. Perfect. Okay, let's just put it over there. Nice tan for us. Hair color. Some decent options here. But, I mean, obviously pretty standard, straightforward, and or boring. You know, because you've just got the stubble and the eyebrows, and that's, yeah, that's basically it. You know, that's basically it. Alright, as I mentioned on the male part of the character creation video, I read about the hair stuff, and the hair does grow when you're in the game. So you start off with the stubble, and then as you play the game, after a certain amount of time passes, it gets longer and longer and longer. Then you get to craft or create some scissors or something like that, and then you can style your hair for yourself. Apparently that's how it works. Now you know. And just know that if I'm referring to it in any other way or saying something negative about it, I had no idea at the time. So there you go. Carry on. They are a little bit brighter, like the colors you get to choose here. This slider feels like the saturation's a little high, like the vibrancy on the colors is a little higher. You're getting to pick something slightly more interesting looking, you know? Then the eye colors, we can zoom in for the eye colors, and you can zoom in pretty far. As you can see here. I mean, I think that is too far, because it doesn't help. No one's ever going to be that close to your character, I hope. The eye colors, I feel like here you've got some glare, and the lighting's kind of weird here. You can see what they are in this square, but I think that they look a little bit better than this in-game. Like, they are a little brighter, and it is a decent color. Like, you can see what it is there. They give you not everything. You will realize that they don't really give you proper pinks, purples, stuff like that here. But I mean, you get a decent selection of colors. And again, while you can't see it so well here, I think in-game with different lighting, it's a little more visible. So it's, yeah, the eyes are alright. Head size. Head size. Pretty much the same as the male. Now here come the interesting ones. Upper face. Alright, alright. Actually scales the eyebrows reasonably well. I did not expect that. Like that hair on the eyebrows looks good when it's so big. And then you can take it lower. Yeah. I mean, that actually looks perfectly good. Like that looks like you just have skinnier brows. Sort of well-maintained brows. Smaller upper lip. That's alright. I kind of dig that. Okay, then lower face. Nowhere near as much as the male. Like, nowhere near. I just want to say, like, that's perfectly acceptable, you know? 100%. I mean, okay, like, 85% acceptable. And if you put it on the lowest, yeah, alright. I mean, the jawline sort of vanishes. Starting to look a little like Andrew Tate here. But, still okay. Yeah, I feel like when you add the upper face size, it compensates a little bit and it starts looking better. But these two sliders are definitely more useful on the female characters. It seems like you can sort of do something with them and you won't look completely messed up. Head width. The height. Kind of pointless, I feel. The depth, also kind of pointless. Neck size, less pointless. But I'm going to say this about the neck size on females. I don't think it contours quite as well as on male. It's like they forgot to increase the shoulder size. It's like this is basically just doing the neck in like a little cylinder. Whereas on the male, it's sort of naturally increasing the muscularity around the shoulders. You know, I feel like on the male, it feels like it even goes down to your lats and it pulls the back muscles up. It all combines to make it look good. On female, it's like they just put in much more meat around the neck or something like that, you know? It's like, I don't know. It's like your character swallowed something really big and it's stuck in their throat. Neck length? Yeah. Let's leave it nice and long. That's attractive, right? Torso. Okay, wait. Never mind. It's going to distract us. Chest size. Here you go. You know what I really like about this? Is that they brace at the back. So check. When you go smaller, it sort of removes it there. But like when you, and it's pretty flat chested, okay? But when you do this and you pull it forward, look how it braces the back with muscle to be able to hold that weight up, you know? So she's like super muscular on the back because she's holding these two monstrosities up. Fantastic. Once again, a little bit more acceptable than the males. You know, you can sort of run around like this, and I'm gonna say I'm not okay. Look. Saying it looks natural, that's a straight lie, but like close enough, right? Shoulders, yeah. I think this also looks kind of nice. You can even use the small ones because that more so sort of tilts the arms back and pushes the shoulder blades together a little bit. If you know what I'm saying. So it sort of looks again a bit more natural. Hips, yeah, okay, that's a little weird. That's fine, but there you go. You can see at a certain point it starts taking the legs with it. Torso width. Yeah. Alright. Height. This is sort of pointless over here, right? Look. Doesn't really do much when you get past that one point. And then depth. So yeah, like I'm gonna say that's also the posterior dimensions, it seems. I'm gonna say like the female so far seems like it is a little more limited. It doesn't look quite as ridiculous, but that might be a plus because it looks a little more natural and gives you more to work with. Hand size, yeah, pretty cool. Arm length, that's good as well. Upper arms, again, not quite as ridiculous, and lower arms. That's quite a lot right there. That's quite a lot. Fantastic. There we go. Perfect. All right. Next up, legs. Let's zoom out. Leg length. It's nice. It's nice. You can make yourself into an Amazonian princess. Upper legs. Smooth. Smooth, dude. Smooth. Yeah. All right. Lower legs. Okay. Why the heck not? Looking good. So you can actually put some real weight on here and have it look sort of decent. I would say that you'd need to do the torso depth at the back there to make it look better. Give your character a little bit more on top of those legs. Can't have trunks like this and then, you know, not have a torso to support it. Yeah. So much like we did on the male, as we're finishing up here, I'm going to turn everything down to the lowest. And then I'm going to turn everything up to the highest, and we'll see what the two look like compared. There we go. It's not even really that out of the ordinary. Okay. Now if we max it. Okay, the face takes an initial hit there. Okay, I mean that's quite something. Huh. Yeah, we should just go like this, walk around on the island like this. We'll blend right in with the dinosaurs. Fantastic. Okay, I mean this is pretty ridiculous. Sure. So okay, much like the males, when you push it up, I do feel like they keep their proportions better, the females. Let's randomize. Yeah, so like the factor at which it gets ridiculous, like the amount that it like exponentially increases, is just a little less. Like you can even maximize everything, push it all to like crazy levels, and it looks a little less mad. You know, the males just, wow. Like you don't know what happened there. With this, I feel like you could start to try and explain it, but about halfway you'd probably lose it and you wouldn't be able to. Fantastic customization though. It's a specific style that they went for. It's the I don't care style of customization, where the devs don't care, you don't care, no one cares. You just make whatever the hell you want, you know. And I think that's highly respectable. I hope that when they release ARK 2, they're going to do a similar thing. Because, for real, it's a good look. You don't have to take yourself too seriously, okay? Rather give people more options, let them mess around and have fun. Because, you know, if you're playing with friends, playing on a server with a community or something like that, being able to dress your character up in funny and entertaining ways, make the character look sort of, you know, the way you want it to look, that's a plus. You get to chuckle out of some people, you know? I think that's great. So, that brings us to the end of this video. You guys can check back here soon for more, as always. And let me know what you think of ARK. If you've been playing it for all these years, I'd love to know from like a veteran's perspective. What's good? What's bad? Is it worth it? Then on top of that, what do you think of the character creator? Have you made something good? I personally think, as my sort of closing thoughts, as I just mentioned, it's cool when games do this. And yeah, man, it's not realistic. Yeah, sure, the characters all have like sort of the same face and whatever. And you're going to be one in many, you know, when you actually jump in there. Because again, everyone's going to have sort of the same vibe to them. But you can differentiate yourself with just, you know, some sliders. Quite a few sliders, actually. And you can do some crazy stuff. So I like it. I like it a lot. I know I'm a few years late to the party here, but I still like it a lot. Anyway, that's that. Check back soon for more. Give this one a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. Most importantly, happy creating those characters. Happy that.